Hello everyone, I'm Fang. In this lesson, I'll teach you some tips for practicing serves. First, take a look. When amateur players serve, does it often look like this? The movements are overly exaggerated, with all sorts of fancy actions, and even deceptive gestures after the serve, but the shots lack spin. The power doesn't transfer to the ball at all. It just lightly touches the ball. Does it feel like this? This happens with hook serves too. There's no friction and break. Now let me show you how to practice friction and break. First of all, you don't need all those fancy movements or large backswing motions. Here's what you should practice. Keep your elbow close to your body and relaxed. Lightly grip the paddle with your thumb and index finger. These three fingers should rest on the handle for support. Now rotate your wrist, like this. Rotate. Keep rotating, then extend your forearm slightly to match the motion. This rotation, combined with the final movement, will give the shot more power. Focus on this motion. Just this small movement. Focus on relaxing and applying force. Yes. This is what you need. Forget about the rest. No need to serve onto the table. Just practice this on the floor. Or at home, on your bed, just practice this motion. This is the key movement. Practice this part well. Then add the preliminary movements and follow through. Only then will you be able to serve with spin. If your serves lack of spin, all those flashy movements are meaningless. You need to first learn how to generate spin. Then gradually increase the range of motion. You can use the right side of your ribcage as a stopping point. Let your wrist and forearm come into contact with that area. This naturally creates a braking effect. The same principle applies to hook serves. This is quite similar to slicing a shot. Work on slicing the ball with spin. When slicing, the motion moves downward. The hook serve works the same way. Raise your racket angle. Once raised, the motion should move forward. Add your body weight into it. Bend your knees. Practice just this wrist and body movement. Ignore the rest for now. Just focus on this. Work on slicing it with spin. Spin the ball. Once you can create spin, then you can expand the motion. Add in your body weight and refine the shot. Always start practicing with the basics and simple movements. Spin is the essence of a good serve. Master spin first, then add flashy movements later. Right now, everyone is overly focused on showy actions. The serves look dazzling, but there's no spin at all. Practice this key movement for generating force. When practicing, focus on striking the ball at the tip of the racket, slightly below the racket head. This ensures a higher linear speed. It also prolongs the contact time with the ball. Whether it's a side spin or pendulum serve. If you want to produce strong spin, you need to start with friction here. Add a quick braking motion. Does that make sense to everyone? This is a simple tip for practicing serves. Make sure to practice well first. Focus on these basic fundamentals. Afterward, you can add a feint send, some exaggerated backswings. These come later. As long as you master the proper use of your fingers and wrist to generate friction with the ball, you can incorporate any action you like. So, how can your wrist and fingers create spin on the ball? Let me teach you a technique. First, your wrist. Keep it loose. Perform a wrist rotation, similar to the motion of throwing a dart. It's that kind of rotation. Then, with your fingers, start by relaxing your thumb and index finger, while the other three fingers naturally grip the handle. Gradually transition from a loose grip to a firm one. You start gripping lightly, say at 20% strength, then increase to 30%, 40%, and finally a sudden firm grip. This rotation and the spin will emerge. This applies to hooking shots too. In fact, any shot requires relaxation and tightening. You need to get your wrist moving. To generate spin, you can even practice this without a paddle.